There's 18 producing creeks from which 20 million ounces has been extracted from surface. And we own the ground underneath all of them. What we've done is document these thrust faults that cut all the creeks. And so we found sources for the two biggest ones that are known. Bonanza Creek, that was the Discovery Creek in the Klondike in 1896. And 2 weeks later, Eldorado Creek was discovered. Those are the two biggest placer producers. We found the sources that created those placers.
StockPulse.com. We are on location, Vancouver Resource and Investment Conference 23. I've got Peter Tallman. He is a lead treasure hunter for Klondike Gold. They trade as KG on the Toronto Venture Exchange. Peter, really good to see you.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, so it's been a while. We did a reality show a couple years ago. We went out there for hunting hidden treasures. We'll get to that in a minute, but you're an interesting guy here running the show at Klondike. Why don't you give investors a little update on your activities over there at Klondike?
Well, since you filmed us for your show, we've been doing 8 years of geoscience in the Klondike. The Klondike, there's a bit of background. There's been 20 million ounces of gold found in creek gravels over the last 125 years. The received wisdom was all the gold was eroded away from the bedrock. There was nothing left. And so I took this project on, and the long and short of it is, in November, so a month and a half ago, we announced the first ever mineral resource in bedrock in 125 years. And it's 600,000 ounces, open pit, pit-constrained resource. And it's the first time it's been documented in bedrock. And that's really exciting.
Yeah, I'll say that's why you get up in the morning, right?
Yeah. It finally proves the thesis that, yes, there is indeed gold in the bedrock in the Klondike, as silly as that is to doubt it. And we have plans now to double the resource this year, and then from there double it again. We figured out the geoscience. We know this is an orogenic gold deposit system. We own 727 square kilometers. So the Klondike, if you think of it, there's 18 producing creeks from which 20 million ounces has been extracted from surface. And we own the ground underneath all of them. What we've done is document these thrust faults that cut all the creeks. And so we found sources for the two biggest ones that are known. Bonanza Creek, that was the Discovery Creek in the Klondike in 1896. And 2 weeks later, Eldorado Creek was discovered. Those are the two biggest placer producers. We found the sources that created those placers. And that's in our resource.
Wow. So talk about the work this year. Then you just made some big claims there, my friend, to keep doubling and doubling. So a lot of drilling going on between there.
With our resource, there's a lot of it that didn't get into it because it was a pit-constrained model. So there's mineralization just beyond the edges of our pits that would be significant enough. Basically, we don't have to do a lot of work to get that first. Whatever it's going to be, might be a double, but I can see that in the next year. From there, we've identified a number of different targets that we've drilled. We have mineralization. Those didn't get estimated. Gay Gulch is the showing in particular, where we made the discovery this year. We'll go back and drill that one and a bunch of other things this coming years. Basically, what we're still doing is discovering. We've only explored literally about 3% of the entire property area. We have showings all through the belt, and we have a lot of opportunity to go and test these things.
Wow. Let's craft a message for investors who want to make some money with a treasure hunter like Peter Tallman. What are they getting here?
Well, what you're getting right now is a bargain. So we trade at 10 cents, and we have a 15 million market cap currently, Canadian. We have 600,000 ounces pit constrained, all starting at surface. The bottom of the pit is a 50-meter vertical. This is an orogenic system that goes deep to kilometers. We've only drilled, our average vertical drilling depth, 51,000 meters in 8 years, is 55 meters vertical. We haven't drilled anything to depth. So all the gold sits at surface. That's what we're exploring for. Those are the cheapest, easiest ounces to find. We're going to increase our mineral resources here in the next 2 years, basically to get to a threshold where we are of interest to larger companies. And from that point, we have the whole district to expand into. And my comparable directly is the California Mother Lode Belt. So, and it's the same geologically, same rocks, same thrusts, same age of mineralization on the same plate margin. So California Mother Lode geologically formed at the same time as the Klondike was forming in the same climate. It's why both districts have vast areas of placer gold sitting on surface. If you take our claims and put them on top of the California Mother Lode belt, Klondike would own 2/3 of the Mother Lode. So within that, there would be 100 or 150 mines, bedrock mines. All of them had a company on it. We own the equivalent in the Klondike, and we own it all. 100%, most of it without any NSR at all.
Wow.
So there's a potential. We're looking for, I think there's 50 million ounces to explore for within our ground. That's the equivalent of what we would be looking for if we were in the California.
Well, that's kind of exciting, huh?
It's super exciting. I mean, it's taken me 8 years to get here, but you know what? Well, since I saw you, we've made some really significant advances in exploration. We've applied some new techniques, looked at it in a different way, and we now have partnerships with basically the USGS and Canadian Geological Survey. We have a bunch of academics working both in the US and Canada, doing fundamental research, finally, to document putting the Klondike and make it fit into the geology of the rest of the world, because it hasn't until now, which is shocking, because this is one of the largest gold endowments on the planet that has no source until now.
Wow. Let's kind of rewind here when I asked you to do the reality show, or Hunting Hidden Treasures. And remember, you shot me down at first. You said, I don't know if there's enough instant gratification in doing something like this. Well, I think through basically what you've kind of proved out here with your activities, I think you kind of scored a little bit here. So talk about that. Talk about the exhilaration, the thrill of hitting.
Well, when you were filming Hunting Hidden Treasures with me, I was still in that headbanging mode of trying to figure it out. And that's you know, when 9 out of 10 leads don't lead you anywhere, that can be frustrating. Professionally, I've done it before, but you know, you have to get that fundamental understanding. And when we were filming that, the understanding wasn't there. And now I'm far more excited about it because I can understand what's going on, and that discovery, that the theory was right when you were interviewing me, and that idea of hunting hidden treasures, literally it was hidden. It was completely hidden, and we've gone beyond that. The discovery's been made. We've proven there's gold in the bedrock. That was my theory when I was talking to you, but I couldn't prove it. And now we have, and yeah, there's significant amounts of gold there. And so now we're on the discovery stage. And the next step is enough of the discovery stage to get it to a mineable resource size.
That seems exciting, Peter.
Come back and film me again. We got to do that. We had a lot of fun.
We're coming back. We're going to do it again. That was fantastic, and can't thank you enough for showing us around up there.
I got to say, just I've even at this show, the Vancouver Resource Investors Conference, this is a couple of years later, we had 2 people come to our booth this show, this is yesterday, and specifically say they really enjoyed the Hunting Hidden Treasures segment and really found it interesting and fun and different than basically the normal media that's shown. So, I mean, I really like that too, and thank you for doing it. It's a great show. Yeah,
well, I think it's a great relationship we have here, and and you're doing something that's very important, and it's a hard job, and there's no shame in missing, but when you hit, it's kind of exciting.
You ask, my investors aren't as patient sometimes, but I appreciate it, yeah.
That's Peter Tallman. He runs Klondike Gold, KG, Toronto Venture Exchange. Peter, really good to catch up.
Awesome, thank you.